Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to share my September TBR. Next week I will be sharing a fall TBR, including all of the books that I hope to mood read this fall. I always try to share the books that are priority reads, mandatory reads in my TBRs, and then I just pick up whatever I'm in the mood for. But I definitely have some books that I am looking forward to reading this fall, so that will be in the next TBR video. But in this video I'm going to share the 5 books that I really need to read in the month of September. So the first one is Crooked House by Agatha Christie. I'm reading this for the Night Owl Book Club, which is my Patreon book club, and we're also going to be watching the movie adaptation. So I'm really excited about that because I've never read the book, I've never seen the movie, and we're going to be doing it together. It is on the shorter side. I think this is like my 5th or 6th Agatha Christie book. I need to look that up, but I know I've read one of her collections like the summer. Let me see if I can find it on my shelf. Okay, I've read And Then There Were None, Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, and Midsummer Mysteries. And so I guess this is going to be my 5th Agatha Christie book. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've heard really good things about this one. It says this family is living in a sprawling, ramshackled mansion. That is until the head of the household is murdered with a fatal injection. Suspicion naturally falls on the old man's young widow, 50 years his junior, but their murderer has reckoned without the tenacity of Charles Hayward, fiance of the late millionaire's granddaughter. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. It's not part of the Poirot. It's just like one of the standalone mysteries. So again, I'm looking forward to reading it and discussing it with my patrons. And we're actually having the discussion in October, but yeah. All right, so also over on my Patreon, we're having our first retreat in the month of September towards the end of the month, and we decided to go ahead and pick up a fun book that we were all excited to read so that we can discuss it on the retreat, and we chose Finders Keepers by Sarah Adler. This will be my 3rd Sarah Adler book. I've really enjoyed the other books that I have read by her. This one, it says, you can't find treasure without digging up the past. So it's a romance between these two. We have Nina, was a professor about to move into a gorgeous new apartment with her long-term boyfriend. Now she's single, unemployed, and living with her parents. Even more surprising is the fact that Quentin Bell, her childhood neighbor, and okay, fine, her crush, is also back in town and wants to resume the treasure hunt that ended their friendship almost 2 decades ago. So I think they're going to go on this treasure hunt and also fall in love, and I'm just really looking forward to reading and discussing this with my patrons on the retreat at the end of the month. Also for my Patreon, we've read a lot of Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and we're continuing with Glorious Rivals, and we're also going to be discussing this in October, but I want to read it in September, obviously, because I'm really excited about it. I think it's just going to be a duology, but who knows? Jennifer Lynn Barnes likes to surprise us. The mysteries deepen, alliances will be broken, and everything heats up. So this is a spin-off of The Inheritance Game, which we read all of those books. Then we jumped into this one. Really looking forward to reading it. Can't tell you that much, but there's games, and I love the characters of this series, and it's been a while since I've read the first one. I guess it's been a year, so yeah, I'm looking for, has it been a year? Next up for my in-person book club, we will be reading Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall. I don't think I've read anything by this author before. I'm a little nervous because I don't have the best luck reading Reese's book club picks, but maybe this will be a winner. I think this is like literary fiction. I'm not really sure, to be honest. So let's read the synopsis together. The farmer is dead, he is dead, and all anyone wants is to know is who killed him. Beth and her gentle, kind husband, Frank, are happily married, though their relationship relies on the past staying buried. But when Beth's brother-in-law shoots a dog going after their sheep, Beth doesn't realize that the gunshot will alter the course of their lives. The dog belonged to none other than Gabriel Wolf, the man Beth loved as a teenager, the man who broke her heart years ago. Gabriel has returned to the village with his young son Leo, a boy who reminds Beth very much of her own son who died a few years earlier in a tragic accident. As Beth is pulled back into Gabriel's life, tensions around the village rise and dangerous secrets and latent jealousies from the past resurface, this time with deadly consequences. Beth is forced to choose between the woman she once was and the woman she has become. A sweeping love story with the pace and twists of a thriller, Broken Country is a novel of simmering passion, impossible choices, and explosive consequences that toggles between the past and present to explore the far-reaching legacy of first love. Okay. The words are huge on the page. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to be reading and discussing this in September. Not sure if I'm going to be able to make the book club discussion, but I do want to read it nonetheless, just in case I can. And last but not least, the next book up for discussion on my podcast, Talk Bookish to Me, which is always linked in the description box, is going to be none other than Holly Jackson's adult debut, Not Quite Dead Yet. And she is the author of the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, which is all young adult. She's written 𝒑𝒏𝒅𝒏. She's written The Reappearance of Rachel Price. And I haven't read 𝒑𝒏𝒅𝒏, but I've read everything else. And I've really enjoyed those books, but this is her adult debut and I have seen some emotions, so I don't know if I'm quite prepared, but this is a Good Morning America pick, which I'm excited about because I usually do have good luck with their picks. I'm going to be reading and discussing this with Brandon from Brand the Reader on Instagram and Jules from Jules Books and Things on my podcast September 22nd, I believe. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this and discussing it in depth with spoilers and everything. So if you're reading it, try to read it before then, and then you can tune into the podcast when it is released. This one says from, let's see, in 7 days, Jet Mason will be dead. Jet is the daughter of one of the wealthiest families in Woodstock, Vermont, 27 years old and back living with her parents. She's still waiting for her life to begin. I'll do it later, she always says. She has time until Halloween night, when she is violently attacked by an unseen intruder suffering a catastrophic head injury. Doctors are certain that within a week the injury will trigger a deadly aneurysm. Jet never thought of herself as having enemies, but now she looks at everyone in a new light. Her family, her former best friend turned sister-in-law, her ex-boyfriend. She has just 7 days, and as her condition deteriorates, she has only her childhood friend Billy for help. But nevertheless, she's absolutely determined to finally finish something. Jet is going to solve her own murder. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I think I have a good mix of genres and authors and fun things to read in September. So that's all for my September TBR. Hopefully I will be able to read more than that, but like I said, I do have my Patreon retreat at the end of the month, which I'm looking forward to. And then next week I will be sharing that fall TBR with you, which are books that I plan to pick up if I do finish my scheduled TBR. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.